Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you part 2 of a replay between Mouse, Hasu, and Abver here on Metalopolis. Game is starting to go back and forth, and Hasu does have a couple Colossus already, so those Colossus are going to be able to deal a lot of damage, and that Nidus network did not deal as much damage as Abver would have liked. You can take a look all across the map, those Colossi, now on that far side, perhaps a Nidus network, if it was placed down here, would be fairly successful. If you take a look at Hasu, Hasu does not see into this location here, so this would be a perfect location for a Nidus network. If the Overlord just flew overhead for just a second, looking to contaminate some buildings and get some damaged out. There are a lot of units now, and taking a look at the army sizes or the unit combinations, we have 2 Colossus and now the Twilight Council coming online. So Twilight Council, as those Colossus now being ready to move out once again, will they be able to start taking down even more units? And they're going to run into and try to take down some of these creep tumors as well. As those creep tumors get down, the creep highway will be destroyed. Level 2 weapons upgrade compared to level 1 weapons upgrade, and now we are getting some corruptors. So those corruptors being used obviously to try to take down those Colossus. So it's going to be 3 corruptors with that corruption ability, enabling them to deal even more damage. I believe it's like a 40% or 30% damage increase onto those Colossus, and those Colossus all of a sudden become very, very easy prey as they lose essentially 100 to 150 hit points based, 75, dang it, I can do the math. About 70 hit points if it is 20%. If it is 30%, then it's about 105 hit points after that contaminate gets laid down. We do see a lot of Hydralisks and Roaches back over here now, and those creep tumors over here, so they will reveal that the Stalkers are trying to come up that ramp, and there they go, now trying to come in. Down goes one Overlord, as those Overlords now moving out, and now there is perhaps another Overlord here, so that Overlord could spawn another Nidus network as these units now continue to try to move out. The Stalkers doing a great job there, just stalking that Queen and taking it down relatively easily. Just 2 rounds of attack from that large group of Stalkers, and down it goes. So Hasu now just playing a very, very macro intensive game, and now also going for Psystorm. He already has a lot of High Templar, so with 3 Colossus and now a lot of Psystorm, he should be able to handle that Zerg swarm very, very easily. All it's going to take is a couple well-positioned force field, which he does have a lot of sentries, and he will be able to just trap those Hydralisks, trap those Roaches in very, very dangerous tight situations, and then drop Psystorm while using the extended thermal lance range on those Colossus and finish off this game. So I believe Hasu is just going to simply wait until he has the right unit combinations in order to try to deal with the situation appropriately. You can see also Hasu sitting on almost nearly no minerals and no gas. Meanwhile, Abver is sitting on about 1,000 minerals and almost 2,000 gas at this stage, and he needs to produce more and more units. He should probably start spawning larvae, trying to train up additional queens as well, as the production tab does not show very much. He is getting the greater spire, and now in come those Overlords. Overlords not going to simply just come in here and now start dropping straight into the base here, and now with all those units so far away, those Hydralisks may be able to get a lot of damage dealt across the board, but you can see 2 Colossus dealing so much damage so quickly, now trying to take down even more of those warp gates. Warp gates already very, very low, and down goes another gateway, so losing 1 production building there as those Stalkers try to finish off that one Overlord. Oh, that almost full Overlord getting shot down. And down it goes. Back over here, we now see another Overlord in the air. Nidus network not being used. Oh, Nidus network now being filled, so we may get a Nidus worm. Yeah, right here, and Hasu does not see that. So as these units now are going to try to move out, all of these Roaches and these Hydralisks will be pushing out in just a second and dealing a lot of damage towards this expansion. So there we go. There's that Nidus worm, and now out come all of those Roaches. Roaches are going to deal some damage over here, but the army size of Hasu may go in for the critical kill and the critical blow now. Go for the jugular. Don't even bother with those expansions, and now I'm taking down the main bases here, the natural expansion and the main base with all the tech. Production wise, we now see 10 Broodlords currently being produced. The Stalkers do have Stalker Blink, however, so those Stalkers will be able to get a lot of damage as long as those Hydralisks are underneath those Broodlords. Those Broodlords will be able to deal a lot of damage, and now in come those Hydralisks now trying to deal damage back and forth. Will they be able to deal damage? And now those Broodlords are in the air, and those Stalkers are now going to be forced to try to pull back, able to blink away as those Stalkers are now just continuing to give chase, as those Broodlings now try to deal more damage. Those Broodlords need to make their way over and try to deal damage towards that Colossus, as the Colossus has taken down the main hive over here, and now in come a lot of Psystorm. Psystorm gonna start casting on straight underneath. Stalkers now underneath there, as those Broodlings doing a good job just trying to tongue tie or just leg tie all of those Stalkers. Tongue tie me, and now those Broodlords being forced to try to pull back. Psystorm cast right underneath those Broodlords as it should be, and now Psystorm with extended thermal lens range and Stalker Blink able to just simply clean up this fight here. Psystorming underneath and even hitting his own Stalkers. He doesn't care, as those Broodlords are just going to get shredded out of the sky there. We do have a lot of sentries now, and a lot of those Stalkers were taken down, so he is just using pure Psystorm to deal with this army now, and now merging into Archons. So there is currently one Broodlord left in play, but as soon as these two Archons come in, those two Archons will be able to deal a lot of damage. Archons do deal a lot of damage against the against Broodlords here, and now in comes another group of Stalkers, so down it goes. Now some long distance mining happening over in the center of the map, as the Hasu can simply just move and attack with this large army and finish off this game. All the tech buildings are gone. Essentially many of the production buildings are taking out. Only one hatchery left, one spire left, and that is it. And all of these buildings will start to bleed as the creep has receded. And now, what, 3 Colossus with a large number of High Templar able to just predict and handle that tech switch into mass Broodlords. Those Broodlords did have an escort with those Hydralisks. However, those Hydralisks unable to really do anything against that Psystorm as well. And now, I believe Abver will be forced to say GG. Stalker's now trying to blink underneath for those Mutalisks once again, and now Abver says GG. Stay tuned for Game 2 in this series between Mouse Hasu and Roxas Abver here on Metalopolis.